Happy Christmas, guys. You made it through another goddamn year. 2023 is nearly up. But until then, today is a day of celebration, the big JC's birthday, as well as a modern excuse to kick back, eat a shitload of bad food, and get absolutely paralytic by 12 PM. Today I wanted to bring you a little bit of a different kind of video because, you know, naturally Cyberpunk is one of the least festive games I've ever played in my life. But of course I did still want to make a Christmas video, even though a lot of people probably aren't interested and, you know, are busy with actually seeing family and friends and things like that. So I thought today I would bring you a little game called Viscera Cleanup Detail Santa's Rampage. I know this game might seem really incredibly bizarre to be playing, and I completely understand that. You know, cleaning is not necessarily something which every person who has an interest in video games wants to spend their time doing. You know, people don't like cleaning in real life, so why the hell were they going to like doing it in a game? So Christmas has always been a really nice time of the year for me. You know, ever since a pretty small child, I've always loved the idea of Christmas. That's nothing new, is it? I think every young child likes Christmas because it's magical. It's really the one time of year, apart from your birthday, where things are different. It has this kind of element of almost fantasy to it because, you know, you got your big man Mr. Father Christmas, who's absolutely carrying Christmas every year. You know, we don't hear from him throughout the rest of the year, so it makes it like this real nice opportunity to kind of get in touch with an old friend. I don't know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. When I was at uni, I studied sociology for my undergrad, which in case you don't know, is like social philosophy, kind of in the similar ballpark of psychology, but less about kind of people's brains and why people behave because of their brains, and it's more about why people behave because of their social situation, you know, the environment which they find themselves in, whether that be their education, their family, their social class, their race, ethnicity, gender. You know, there's hundreds of different things which you can begin to look into. One of the theories which I really sort of empathized with was this guy called Max Weber. He was a German sociologist, one of the founding fathers of modern sociology. But anyway, Max Weber came up with this theory that he called rationalization. Basically, the premise was that the world, as time has gone on, as we've got into a modern society, and now it's postmodern, but, you know, the world has become more factual. The world's become more black and white. Generally speaking, the world has lost a lot of its kind of early fantasy, mystical elements, because everything has now been replaced with simple black and white A to B kind of thinking. You know, what with work changing, work becoming massively industrialized, commercialized, work moving away from something which was often owned by a family, passing down through generations, to moving towards working for a company for the sake of earning rather than, you know, making a living, making something of your life, I guess. And also, one could argue the biggest one was a move away from religion, you know, society becoming more secular. And as a result of that, you find that people, especially now, because, you know, it's only got worse, really, or better, depending on how you frame it. So, you know, I know I'm rambling a lot, but generally speaking, Weber framed this as the iron cage of modernity, basically saying that the modern day is fucking boring because it's so bleak, it's so to the point that there is no longer any kind of sense of magic with anything. It's all very much matter of fact. So anyway, the kind of point of that was to say that for one, I still absolutely love sociology, even if I don't study it anymore, and you fucking notice it in everyday life. It's pretty scary, actually, how applicable it is. But also that, you know, Christmas is the absolute antithesis of rationalization. It's a time for a little bit of magic, for a little bit of mysticism, in a world that is, you know, ever increasingly losing that. I think it's so nice, and I think it is so unbelievably important to retain. That's just my 2 cents though. This year's been pretty interesting for me, you know, making content for YouTube. In case you don't know, I've been making videos since 2012, so 11 years. I've seen some success over that time, back making No Man's Sky content, but truly looking at the analytics and the growth that has come from the latter half of this year, from kind of October onwards, I have never in 11 years of running this channel had any kind of growth which is similar to that. So first of all, I want to say a big fucking thank you to everyone that is for some reason interested in what I'm putting out. It's been easy as well working remotely for a change and not working in hospitality like I had been for the past 6 years. So this is what I fucking hate about this game, this shit. I have so much more time to record videos, to make videos, and obviously this year has been absolutely fantastic for Cyberpunk. I mean, we had Phantom Liberty, we had the 2.0 update, coupled with the 2.1 update, which absolutely no one expected. And I can safely say that after 3 years of pondering about how a working train system would have worked in this game, you can now see it for yourself. Even if it is maybe not quite what we were expecting, it's still fucking there, guys. Cyberpunk has been in a really weird state in my mind because, like I said before, I've played this game since it basically came out, so I feel like I've absolutely covered it to death. But I've covered it to death in kind of unconventional means, looking for stuff outside of the map, focusing on cut content, and it's pretty rare that I actually kind of have the time or the desire to sit down and just play the game for what it is. But recently I did actually complete Phantom Liberty, finally. Ironically, the only reason why I pushed myself to do it was because I wanted to get the 2079 ending, so I could fly around Night City in 2079 and see if there was, anything cool. So, the motive is always to make a video in some shape or form, and that is the one thing which I can safely say about finishing Phantom Liberty, is that the DLC is fucking brilliant, and it truly reminds me just how fantastic the storytelling, the voice acting, the animation, the choreography, all of it is absolutely incredible. I've never been so moved by a video game in my life, full stop. The main game story with all of those endings, the Phantom Liberty ending which I got, which was again influenced by this desire to get to 2079. So I just want to finish this video by talking about some plans for the future. First of all, I do want to say that in mid-January I'm going away for a while. I'm going travelling in Southeast Asia with my partner. We're going for 4 months. 4 months we're going to be backpacking. I'm not here to talk about the trip itself, but rather that there is a pretty good chance that content will be massively scaled back. Just because creating 4 months worth of videos in less than a month is going to be pretty fucking difficult. I've been thinking about this for a while, trying to work out how I'm going to keep up with the uploads, and I've come to a couple conclusions, but they will be a lot less frequent. Maybe once a week, maybe once every 4 days, something like that. I need to work out the timings exactly. I do not want to let this channel gather in dust yet again just because I haven't got round to organising something properly. Evidently you guys enjoy the content, and I would be a massive dick if I was to drop off the face of the earth for 4 months and not provide you with anything. I appreciate all of you watching. I massively appreciate you for sticking around and showing so much support. I want to make that bigger. I want to grow even more. And with 2077 kind of, reaching the end of its life, as in 2.1 was the last major update for this game, supposedly, and Orion is still a good few years away, it massively depends kind of how the game goes, I don't know if people will lose interest in it. I don't know how that will work in terms of making content. I have to start thinking about, okay, if that does happen, then what other games can we cover with a similar kind of flair, maybe cut content, of course, maybe some kind of game which had a similar scope to Cyberpunk that has preferably a free cam. The only one which I can really think of in the modern day which might seem absolutely insane is The Day Before. Yeah, I know it's getting to that point, but no, seriously, this game was massively marketed to be something incredibly different, and I am well aware that it was all a complete and utter scam. But according to a few pretty reliable sources, the game was pretty much rebuilt like 4 times, and there were elements of this MMO that were implemented but were basically taken out because, you know, the servers couldn't hack it because it caused technical problems. You know, whoever it was that made it, Fantastic was it? They had a deadline, obviously, because they needed their money so they could run. What I'm trying to say is that if I could ever get that game, because now you can't even buy it, and somehow get on a server because they're going to shut them down in a week, then that might be pretty fascinating to go through, maybe with some kind of free cam, and see if there's any evidence of this game which was actually promoted to us. I think that would be pretty cool. But until that happens for certain, we're going to stick with Cyberpunk, and we're going to keep doing what I love, what I hope you love as well. And if things changes, then well, we'll move with the times, and that's how it works. So we've made a pretty good amount of progress on this place. I'm pretty happy with it for now. So I think we're going to end the video here today. Guys, I know this was maybe a little bit different, maybe a bit too long, maybe a bit too personal, but Christmas is a time for family, and you guys that are watching all the time and leaving comments, joining the Discord server, you are family. You know, you're the YouTube family, and I massively appreciate all of you, so thank you so much. Happy Christmas, guys, or Merry Christmas if you're from America. Thank you so much for sticking around, and please do check out the new uploads coming out regularly scheduled after Boxing Day. It will be. Thank you so much, guys, and as always, I'll catch you lot in a bit.